Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Jeff.
And I am Eric.
And we are going to be your commentators today. How you doing today, Eric? It's been a while.
Great. How about you?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to some Marvel rivals. So today we are going to have UAlbany against NP Orange.
And it looks like UAlbany already has their first ban on Captain America.
Yep. We saw a couple weeks ago UAlbany used that Captain America pick to big advantage, so they're trying to deny some of that annoying, pesky dive for the enemy team. In response, NP Orange is going to be answering with the Hella ban.
Very interesting.
Yep.
They are protecting Emma Frost.
Yeah. Emma Frost, yeah, very strong dive. Kind of, if she's not picked, she's probably protected in the current meta.
And it looks like UAlbany's protecting Daredevil.
Daredevil, new character since the last time we played, has been seeming pretty strong recently. Really like a great 1v1 character. If he's not answered by multiple people on the enemy team, he kind of can run away with it. Followed it up with the Cloak and Dagger
ban.
Interesting. Okay.
Very interesting ban in there.
I wonder if that has something to do with they know, like maybe what some members of NP Orange wants to play, because Cloak and Dagger, they're not weak. I won't say they're weak, but they're definitely
not meta as of right now.
Yeah, they're not like the strongest throughput healer, I think.
And they are banning Black Panther. Very sensible ban right there.
Yeah, we were saying, the dive from UAlbany was instrumental to their stomp. So any dive character you can get out of their hands is probably going to be pretty helpful. Looking for the second protect this time.
Is Doctor Strange.
All right, so we have 2 shield tanks protected. Probably just really trying to lock in that more front to back team fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Really trying to protect their back line over there.
Yep. Doctor Strange, he's been a bit on the up and downs, but I think he's currently in a pretty good spot right now. So, especially if you can get some people to combo with his ultimate.
And it looks like UAlbany is protecting Venom.
Venom and Daredevil. We did see Venom used quite effectively in their last match. So, yeah, it looks like one team very obviously is leaning towards, that more like pokey style front to back. Well, UAlbany is going to be looking to try and get in their faces, mess up that formation. And the Bucky ban. Yeah, very smart. Bucky, super good at pokes, super good at anti-dive. Just a really good all-around character.
Very well-rounded. And looks like Orange's final ban is going to be
2, 1. Star-Lord.
Star-Lord of all people.
Okay. Star-Lord can kind of function a bit like a dive character,
or villain.
a bit
I'm
like
not
a poke
judging.
character, depending on how aggressive you want to be with your flanks. Do see UAlbany picking up the Daredevil that they protected, and I'm most likely
picking up Venom.
Venom and Angela. So yeah, these 2 tanks really good at getting in there, disrupting the formation of the enemy team.
Oh, actually, they're switching to Emma.
Yeah. That might just be because having 2 dive tanks can kind of leave your
supports a little bit vulnerable.
Your back line is just kind of left out to dry in that sense, so don't really want to have that happen. And Emma is just also a really strong tank. She's very strong since her release. So we're going to be going to Domination for our first map.
30 seconds before you attack.
Trying to
Get
think
ready.
of what sort of matchups we're having. We do have the Namor coming out for the Daredevil. Daredevil, not really like your Black Panther where he goes in and absolutely one-shots the back line. He likes to be in there for a bit more.
Thanks, but
fighting.
I've heard
So
them using
Namor
him.
probably can get
I think they're already
some
suffering
value
enough.
there. But Daredevil.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, Black Panther.
2,
even with the
1.
splits, you still need to hit the
All you
target.
need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Yeah.
And here we go, Daredevil immediately going onto that flank with the Angela. This is probably we're going to be seeing kind of like the two of them peeling off any sort of pick that they can. The rest of the force.
Looks like you got more.
Yep. Angela was immediately ready to go buy that scoreboard. Her also was punching back away, but wow, Emma across this. So much damage, and is immediately going to go down, and just like that, the dominoes immediately fall.
And it looks like that Orange is now falling back immediately after UAlbany's initial launch.
Yeah. 4 quick picks, those supports say no thank you and run back to their spawn door.
victory,
First
but I'll
fight
take it.
decisively won by UAlbany.
It looks like Angela here is waiting for them to... Oh, yeah, she's picking full guard.
Yep, she's looking for a kidnap angle. Crucially, not going for a speed flight because that does make more noise. Gets two here. Yep. Big damage onto the Luna. Daredevil is there to try and finish it, but they are able to peel it back. Daredevil and Angela sub 50% HP, and it will be the answer back onto the Daredevil. So, good to defend the sports. Unfortunately not. Let's see if they can get some room here. That was mostly right outside their spawn door.
It doesn't look like
Disappear!
Just now getting onto the point. An invisible boundary force, but it's not on the point. So UAlbany is just kind of able to play around with natural cover of the hexagon. Big jet ball. How many people did it eat? I wish it would come on over. Looks like he's only got one in his mouth. It is the Invisible Woman, so she is going to be able to jump back onto the stage. But just that amount of time with only one support means that UAlbany was able to get a few kills and maintain control. So yeah, I think we're starting to see what this UAlbany squad is trying to do. You know, a really solid 4-man meatball with the Angel and the Daredevil just kind of singling people out. Punisher really good at, you know,
like pulling that line.
Yeah, pulling down that line, putting priority damage onto the tank so that they feel comfortable turning around and helping their support. Daredevil gonna go down.
Down the Angel still here, so we might be CC.
Doesn't quite have the charge right now. Half HP, flying up, trying to get some healing
I
done.
am ready to put on a show!
And without that momentum bar, there's not nearly as much threat. Gonna use the ult to try and signal out the main one, but he just bubbles for a minute. Yeah, doing lots of damage. Does manage to get the solo kill. Daredevil keeping everyone wide on the point. Here we go.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Yep. This is already in overtime. Orange cannot afford to get off, and it is going to be a slight push off to secure the first round. Orange, after that first fight where they lost 4 in quick succession, just were not able to get any sort of foothold.
It was mostly the initial battle that really set the tone for the rest of the match.
Yeah, it can be so hard to fight through that initial hallway on that point once you lose it. It really does require like some good usage of the ultimates to break through.
They did.
Yeah, they tried.
With Luna Snow.
Luna Soul and Invisible Boundary. Invisible Boundary obviously is like kind of hard to do that because of how like it's stationary.
So they did kind of whiff the Invisible Boundary quite a little bit because they put it outside of the point.
Yeah.
But then again, she couldn't really get to the point in the first place.
Right, and it's not like you want to throw that so far forward that your team kind of has to rush into
the
it.
Invisible Boundary,
Yeah.
because then again, it is
Battle starts in
defensible
5, 4,
at the end of the day.
3,
Yeah, and
2,
UAlbany did a great job forcing out those support ults without really committing too many resources themselves.
Got it?
It looks like UAlbany's ult charge is also generally higher than Orange's. Oh, actually, never mind. I didn't see the two ultimates over there.
Yeah, we do have 2 ults. It is the giant whale and the what is it, or something like that. The rocket ult.
I just call it rocket ult.
Yeah, the damage boost. So yeah, UAlbany should be getting 2 of their own ults in quick succession here. Yeah. Ooh, and he immediately gets whaled. Yeah, that's one of those things. Namor is a pretty good answer into the Punisher in that interaction because he's not able to get off that turret fast enough to dodge the whale. So it's basically a free kill if you can line it up. So it will be NP Orange getting first control of this point. Good bounce back from them. But it was both ultimates committed for that, so.
So they are committing a lot of resources into the singular charge, and it does feel like they would have to keep this momentum going if they do want to win this match.
Yeah, UAlbany does currently have the ulti advantage, but Luna Snow or NP Orange is super close to that dance show. As long as they can keep this neutral going for just a little bit to let her charge it up just a little bit more, but that's so much damage onto the Doctor Strange, and he will go down. Daredevil just tearing through this backline.
And it looks like 4 out of 6 of Orange's team is already down. It looks like they're putting on Scrowgirl, and Scrowgirl is down, with Doctor Strange being the sole survivor.
Yeah, Doctor Strange did go down early there, so he's going to be the first to respawn. I think a lot of that came from, we did see Jeff get 2 kills with his ultimate off screen there, so he probably just ate some of the supports, really denying that healing. And that means that UAlbany gets the point flip, only investing a single ult, so they're still up 4 ults to 1 after that exchange.
It looks like UAlbany has the advantage here. And it looks like Punisher is putting his turn down, and
so much damage coming through in this turn. You're going to get 2 quick picks.
that impressive fire that is just holding that point down really.
Yeah, if you can get a good corner with that turret, it's so difficult to peek in to try and get him off of that. As we see, UAlbany just pushing NP Orange just back into spawn. Invisible Woman, or no, sorry, Luna Snow going to be picked off again by the Daredevil. Huge stagger from him.
Looks like Angelo is building in for some action, perhaps.
Yep, trying to get kidnapped. Really does kind of function as a flying Wolverine sort of play style, trying to just like drag some people away from the team.
So that they could easy picking.
Yeah.
Like, Daredevil is putting in some more.
Good deflect to make sure that he can stay safe.
That looks like maybe we'll pop his giant whale.
Huge whale immediately gets a puncture, but the Jeff is going to answer back. Big Eye of Agamotto. Can they get any kills off it? It will be. Both supports down for NP Orange. Psionic Seduction going to be used to try and stabilize, but she's just going to have to try and get out of there.
As soon as possible, because we do not want the tank to go down that quickly.
Yeah, we do not want a late stagger here. Angela will be picked off at the end there, so a slight stagger. And we do see, all right, a bit more fight out of NP Orange here.
But they did have to commit 2 ults to that, so let's see if this investment pays off.
Yep, it's going to still be 2 ults to 2. But critically, 2 of those, none of those ults on the UAlbany side is a support ult. So if the Punisher lets it rip here, he's going to be immediately answered you help by the Loki. But the Loki ulted immediately is picked off before he can actually get the Luna ult off. And it's just going to be a UAlbany flip. Did they even use an ultimate there?
No, they did not. It looks like they still have 3 ultimates.
That's crazy. It's gonna have to be a TP play to get back onto the point. Is there even going to be time? No. UAlbany takes the first map 2-0. All right, we see some echoes of the last time. A little bit more fight, but
even though it wasn't as one-sided as the last match, it is still very overwhelming in the UAlbany's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, oh wow, this MVP screen is so cool. It's a little long, but I love how it goes to like the Goon's vision at the very beginning of it. And we see, yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil's with
instrumental right there. Kind of really important, especially with that Angela diving in from 2 different directions, just making sure the supports had nowhere safe to stand.
This composition was pretty much tearing up the back line.
Mm-hmm.
A lot there, and it's
yeah, it's that classic thing of if you can take out the supports or at least distract them, those tanks they can't take and hold space like they want to because they just don't have the heals to back them up. There's so much damage that can come out of this Punisher.
I mean, if you remove the foundation, the building's bound to fall down.
Exactly. So even with the Squirrel Girl Namor, usually 2 DPS that are a little bit better at peeling for their back line. NP Orange just was not able to withstand the pressure, so we're going to have to see if there's going to be any sort of a change-up in draft.
They might be changing up their bans a little bit.
Yeah, if they banned Daredevil as opposed to like a Black Panther or something, I would completely understand. But then again, Black Panther can do a very similar job, so they're kind of in a catch-22 of what they actually want to do here.
We might be seeing a ban in both Black Panther and Daredevil in the next map.
Yeah, I don't really understand what the hella ban was for. I don't think UAlbany played much of it in the first week, so they might be dropping that and banning something else. But Daredevil was first round protected, so if they want to ban it, they're going to have to ban it early.
Perhaps they were really just afraid of a Hela appearing.
Yeah, Hela has been strong. She's probably the best poke DPS in the game. She can 2-tap most of the squishy members from basically any range. So I completely understand if they're worried about that. But if UAlbany shows that they want to play this dive, you kind of just have to ban the dive, right?
Yeah, you gotta ban the dive because then again, UAlbany might not have a great Hela player.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Looks like UAlbany's going for the same ban as they did last time within a Captain America ban.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, yeah, here we
Yep,
see
there
first
you go.
ban Daredevil.
First ban is Daredevil.
So what does that mean that UAlbany is going to protect? They did protect the Venom last time, so they're going to try and push that up, or are they going to maybe protect the Black Panther instead?
It looks like they're protecting Bucky this time.
Yeah, Bucky, big answer to that dive. Because all of his abilities do kind of give that slowed, grounded effect, means that those really mobile backline divers cannot, as freely jump. And we do see the Angela protect instead. Okay.
And they are again protecting, they are again banning Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
It really feels like they're a bit afraid of Cloak and Dagger.
It has to be just like a player from the NP Orange side is like
That's
a big
really
Cloak and Dagger player. Because
it looks like they're going for the Hela banning once more.
yeah, I guess NP Orange has some information that maybe we don't, because I don't remember Hela being super impactful last time, but
Hela has been a strong character ever since launch, but she hasn't been meta-defining for quite a while by now.
yeah, they have kind of toned down her numbers a little bit, so she definitely feels more balanced than she used to. And they do timeout on the protect, so I don't know if there's maybe just some miscommunication there, but we shall see.
Who UAlbany will protect next?
I'm assuming it's probably going to be the Venom again, though they didn't play it on map 1.
So they're protecting the Emma. Looks like they're protecting both their tanks.
Yeah, both tanks that were played in map 1 are protected this time. Makes a lot of sense that kind of, Emma keeping the front line and her keeping the front line secure,
nice
and then Angela going in for that
Going in for
disruption.
that one.
Really good combo there.
So they're protecting both their tanks, which was the initial
Yeah.
foundation of their strategy,
Right.
sort of.
And we see the invisible wound band here. Yeah, another one of those good throughput healers hitting the bin. And NP Orange gets the final ban, and it's going to be...
It is a Black Panther ban, indeed. They did ban both divers.
The right heroes can
Okay,
make all the difference.
and we see UAlbany immediately answer with the Blade.
Blade.
Interesting. I have not seen Blade very much recently. He's gotten some buffs, but he still feels a bit on the weaker side. So
We'll see how it plays out.
yeah, I think there's still currently a bug with his vampiric stance where you can kind of keep it stacked longer than it's supposed to. So let's see if they're going to be playing around that. But so UAlbany is going to be on attack side first for this convoy map. Now that does kind of both teams really, their styles love to be where they are, right? The dive loves to be on the attack, trying to just disrupt the backline as much as possible. While this more shield-focused team loves to be on the defense, just holding the line, hoping that Squirrel Girl can just rain or Acorns down range. So this first fight is going to be very telling, I think, of how this path is going to go.
It's going to be very instrumental. Yeah, it is going to be very instrumental in telling how the rest of the match is going to go. Because
3, 2,
and again,
1.
once you fight once, it's pretty hard to
You need to stop
change it
that
up a little
vehicle
bit.
in tracks.
Oh, we do see a late swap from the Angela to the Thor here, so a little bit of sibling switch. Oh, huge hook onto the Emma. Immediately forced a diving for it, but she's still going to go down.
It looks like you already pushing Orange back by quite a little bit with Bucky laying down some fire near the back line.
Yeah, and critically, because they already have the Doctor Strange, though, okay, Bucky is going to be answered back, but because the Doctor Strange is already picked for NP Orange, Mr. Whale is not going to be able to swap and TP back, so...
Their frontline has gotten drastically weaker, which leaves their backline much more open to attack than it looks like.
Yeah, this Emma Frost fully charged, doing so much damage. Gonna back up back to the cart, get some heals, recenter. Alright.
Looks like Squirrel Girl just got annihilated over there.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl, if you can focus it down, does not have a lot of HP. It can be very terrifying, but if you are able to focus it, it's kind of easy to deal with. We do see both teams now 6 minutes down again. Sonic Seduction, huge onto 4 people. Blade is just tearing apart everyone. Jeff Lowell on top of it, just going to kidnap everyone else. That's going to be an ace. A clean ace for UAlbany. And, okay, Group was able to get back.
Not much.
You have to imagine he's not long to this world, though. So they do avoid the ace,
Technically.
but it is going to be 0.1 for UAlbany here and a big stagger onto the group. So you have to imagine there's going to be, there's going to be a lot of forward progress right after this 0.1 animation is done.
Looks like Blade going up on the bridge.
Yep. Yeah, Blade. Okay. Despite his name, does rely quite a bit on that shotgun, so you know he's gonna be trying to play from this more like middle range, and so he really feels like he has the opportunity to go in and try and pick people off. Immediate hook from the Bucky does force out the flex and the ultimate.
Goes down.
Oh my god! Talk about turning a bad situation in your favor. Gets hooked in and immediately just says, "All right, well I'm next to your supports now." All right, so both Luna Snow's gonna be ulting. NP Orange's Luna Snow is already gone though, so it's just going to be a support ult advantage for UAlbany. And here comes the again getting 4 kills on the Bucky. And that might just be 0.2.
That might just be 0.2 because it does feel like UAlbany has an overwhelming advantage here.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult. When you start losing these fights, you kind of feel the pressure to just like get back in there, try and stop the point. Big Gruul.
Like everybody's in the corridor.
Yeah, Big Gruul kind of forces everyone to look at each other, but that doesn't mean that you're on the cart, so it's going to be 0.2. UAlbany does get both kills on the tank, so once again, NP Orange is going to be forced to back up. Late kill on the Bucky, another big stagger. NP Orange needs to figure out how they're going to be disengaging from these fights better, because they just can't be losing, you know, a quarter of the progress of each point just because one of their team members gets staggered late.
It does feel like whenever NP Orange's tanks fall, like one of them is bound to fall with them.
Yeah.
But not exactly at the same time, of course. No, it's always going to be a lane which is going to make it really long for them to regroup.
You almost wish that the team fight was over faster, that you could regroup better. Okay, Blade gonna get good damage onto these Penny Nests. Huge Psionic Seduction paired up with the Kraken Impact. Immediately gets 2 kills, make it a third. They're just forcing them back into the spawn
point.
Oh my. This looks a lot more like it was last time.
Yeah. Very one-sided, very dominating.
Yeah, it's gonna potentially be almost 4 minutes on the clock after as UAlbany gets point number 3. That, I mean, even if you get the 3-point answer and force it into overtime, that is just so much time for UAlbany to be working with. They almost have to win in as dominating a fashion.
They have to dominate UAlbany in this match in order for them to actually win. I did feel like they were changing up a little bit with the Penny trying to set something up.
Yeah, Penny, you know, is kind of a classic answer into the dive, but if you're getting hooked off by that Bucky, like Penny does not have any good options to protect herself from that sort of kidnap power.
No, she really doesn't. Yeah.
So if you're hooked off the nests, you're just kind of free picking. So it feels like, you know, the Blade and the Thor were able to get some good value there. But the big playmaker for UAlbany was Ayada on that Bucky. So, I don't know, it feels like if you ban too much of the dive, they can play the neutral poke game just as well, if not better. So
even though they sort of try to prevent the dive meta from really being in UAlbany's face all the time, it does seem like, you know, Bucky's here. So
yeah, Bucky, honestly, you know, in my personal opinion, I think is really overpowered. I don't think he needs that grounding effect on every single one of his abilities, but that's just because, you know, I like playing characters that with movement, and I don't like being poked in strings. Maybe I'm a little bit. But we do see that NP Orange sticking on the Penny for the initial push out of spawn here.
Using Strange, and they are having Bucky and a Star-Lord and a Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket getting a lot of use here as the anchor for the team up for both the Penny and the Star-Lord. So hopefully they can get some good things there. Good backflip to get out of that uppercut. That would have immediately been his death if he had been put back into the game.
So it looks like NP1 managed to save one of those teammates for a little bit longer, and it does look like they have control over the payload for now. Penny on the flank.
Yeah, flanking Penny, just kind of denying the comfort of the backline there. That is going to be the green light for UAlbany to dive forward onto the strength, though you are missing one of your tanks, and they are just going to take full advantage of that, immediately killing off 3, pushing the supports back into spawn, and now turning around
and focusing their attention back onto the Penny.
Yeah.
Easy picking.
Yeah, Penny 1v6, not really going to stand a chance. Blade will pick up the kill there. Yeah, and you know, I like the idea, I really do, but that takes so much communication to basically have it so that your team can play safe until the Penny can get set up. As soon as UAlbany saw that they were they had the man advantage in the straight-on fight, they pounced.
They pounced and they went for it, and they did manage to win.
Yep. We see Blade just absolutely chopping up the Doctor Strange there. Nothing he can do. That shield is absolutely nothing.
He's chopping up the entire team.
He gets the ulti, chasing down the Squirrel Girl. And it's going to be another late stagger, and UAlbany has 4 ults to 1 for this hold. It is not looking good for NP Orange.
There's still 2 minutes left on the clock, so let's see what's going to happen here. But even though if they do manage to get it all the way to the finishing line, it doesn't seem like they're going to win anywhere.
Yep. Okay, and it looks like NP Orange going to take a page out of the UAlbany playbook, changing over to the Bucky Blade themselves. Gonna see if they can fight fire with fire here.
It looks like they also have ults on it, and it does seem like they're popping something.
Oh yeah, gonna combine the rocket and the blade ult just to try and get as much damage downrange as they can. Do pick off the Emma Frost, she was isolated there, and the Luna Snow ult making sure that they can neutralize this, try and keep things relatively even.
So you have to sort of counter for their Luna Snow ult.
Yep, and it's Jeff is gonna come in, eat up a few of the supports. Big Kraken impact, gonna get 2 quick kills. Another Kraken impact onto the Emma Frost. You have to imagine she's gonna go down here. Yeah.
Bucky managed to get the ace.
Yeah, and there you see it. NP Orange opened it up with a good ulti combination, just trying to get any sort of control. They managed to get a tank, but then they can't stabilize the Luna Snow ult. Just able to make sure that UAlbany is able to play from a position of strength as soon as they can, as soon as NP Orange Luna Snow ult ends. Here we see less than a minute left on the clock. Getting to this corner. Psionic Seduction is going to land onto a few.
It does seem like UAlbany is taking some losses there.
Yep. Two DPS already down. Gonna trade back onto the enemy blade as well. But big choke slam onto the Emma Frost. She doesn't have a diamond forward, so she is going to go down here.
In a late stagger as well.
Yeah, that should be point number 1, you would think, here for NP Orange. As we see the supports of UAlbany just kind of, you know, having some fun, not going to jump in there. Alright, here we see teleport for this last fight here.
It might be the last fight, but who knows? NP Orange might pull this back and manage to get it to the actual point.
Oh yeah, it's looking like they have this. Supports were unfortunately not able to link up in time, so it's going to be a clean sweep for NP Orange. They will get point number 1 in an extra 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes onto the clock. But they're going to need to get this second point fast. Because even if they do make it down here, like we said, that's almost 4 minutes that UAlbany was able to bank.
3 minutes and 52 seconds to get back, which in Halo is really hard.
Yeah, that is so much time. That's like almost 3 or 4 fights if you count in the stream. Big Eye of Agamotto. Oh god, that's onto 2 big people, and it's going to be 4 people immediately killed. Do get the quick trade back, and there is the BRB to kind of get the support back. But yeah, you just kind of have to disengage. Even if the Jeff ult misses, it's already a lost fight for NP Orange. And this point, this payload is like so hard to regain control of. This second point on this map is just so annoying if you lose any sort of momentum.
It's mostly this corner like being sort of a choke point.
Yeah, there's so many, like you can take the high ground on these left stairs, you can fall back and take that right corner. Oh, Blade looking for a huge ult here, immediately forces the Luna Snow ult. Big, good reaction from NP Orange. Just wanting to make sure that that healing reduction does not result in another team wipe. But it's going to be answered back by UAlbany's
Luna Snow ult once the other ult ended, so now they have healing advantage.
Okay, but a good hook from Bucky does mean that it is a 5v6 almost immediately. And now that the Luna Snow ult is done, going to be a silent induction to try and stabilize and press the advantage. It's Jeff going to go in, seeing if they can pick any of the back line up. Going to get 2! That is really big.
And they're going to put them out of the fight for a total of 6 seconds, which gives them enough of an advantage.
Yeah, Luna actually ended up going down in the belly, and then Bucky quick to follow as soon as spit out. That is Jeffel. I feel like, in the early days, it felt like the most OP ult in the game. Then people kind of felt like they got used to it.
Yeah, and they really learned how to avoid the Jeffel.
Yeah, but then, it feels like people have just kind of forgotten. It's been
good ult.
Yeah, it's been catching so many teams off guard. Just the ability to take 2-3 members out of the fight, just give your team that numerical advantage, even if you can't get the environmental kill. Taking people out of the fight for 6 seconds is huge. Yeah, gonna get that kill with the legendary from the Star-Lord. So once again, MP Orange is down to support. Kraken Impact gonna be used. I have Agamotto to answer.
I didn't even notice this, but we were actually in overtime right now.
Yeah, that 2.5 minutes goes by fast. UAlbany gonna pop that Luna Snowball just to make sure that they keep that advantage going. Science Seduction on top. And yeah, with so many dead, you have to imagine that this is just gonna be an easy cleanup for UAlbany. And they take map number 2.
Even if
2, 3.
Orange actually won there, they still wouldn't have managed to beat UAlbany's 3 minutes and 52 seconds, really. Yeah,
even if they had won that fight and continued to push, UAlbany would have been able to regroup, get another fight before the point was captured. And it really just felt like it was an uphill battle the entire way. And we see once again, UAlbany, that dive character, that melee dive from Blade, taking the MVP, so much damage, 13 final blows.
Even though they banned most of the dive characters, the 2 main dive characters, being Black Panther and Daredevil over there, they still managed to make it work with Blade.
Yeah,
Bucky over there.
The communication from UAlbany to coordinate when the Blade is going in, when they can get those disruptions off, and when the entire team can really just press that momentary advantage has been huge.
Whenever Orange shows a single sign of weakness, UAlbany always takes advantage of that and really presses forward.
Yeah, the time to kill is so short in this game if you do not have that steady stream of healing, that if Blade can go in there and make the supports turn around for even a second or 2, it feels like you can get a kill on the Bucky, you can get a kill on the enemy Blade. If you get a good hook onto the Emma or the Strange, you can even get
a kill on the tank.
Yeah, and as soon as that happens,
you destabilize the entire team, and it's pretty much not a good time at all.
Yeah, when this kind of more front-to-back oriented playstyle, the double shield tank, as soon as you lose one, it feels like it is so difficult to stabilize from there.
So it does feel like Orange is sticking with double shield strategy here, but it's not paying out for them. It's not paying.
Yeah, I kind of want to see them change it up. You saw them try and mirror the Blade there, so maybe if they want to try and go for their own dive, maybe they're not comfortable on it, but you kind of, if the double shield is not working, you can't expect it to suddenly start working in this third map, right?
It does seem like they're a bit of a one-trick pony here.
You would hope not, but at the end of the day, if it's the only thing you've practiced, I don't know, maybe they just need to throw something crazy out there and see if it works, because
the next match is going to be match point.
Yeah, if UAlbany can keep their momentum going, it's going to be another quick map for them and another quick 3-0 for UAlbany. So
last time it wasn't even a 3-0.
It was technically a 2-0. So I guess we're not sure if we're loading into the third map yet. We could still have a 2-0 on our hands, but they are saying he's coming back. So I assume we're going to have a third map for real this time, which I am excited for. But yeah, just looking at this endgame scoreboard, 13 deaths on the Strange, 12 on the Emma Frost. Their counterparts had less than 10 combined. I don't know what you can change up, but there needs to be something that you can do to make it so that your tanks can actually do their jobs and actually hold this frontline space.
They really have to protect their backline a little bit more, because right now they're just getting picked off flies.
Yeah, and you see the damage delays from MP Orange did pump out a lot of damage, 20k and 23k,
which is more than what UAlbany's DPSs did.
Yeah, but if it doesn't
Upping the
amount,
scoreboard.
if it doesn't amount in kills, that's, if anything, just feeding free ult charge to the enemy support. So they need to, figure out something for this game number 3. Hopefully, we should be loading in here soon. Maybe it looks like we had a bit of a connection issue with one of our UAlbany people. So they should be coming back momentarily, and we will be getting into map number 3.
It does seem like UAlbany's communication and synergy is a lot more coherent than compared to NP Orange's.
Yeah, and I think a big thing is that the support ult usage from UAlbany has seemed a lot more efficient and effective, right? You saw multiple times that they tried to use that rocket ult in combination with like the blade ult or something like that, and it would maybe get one, but then UAlbany was able to kite it back,
counter it with a Luna Snow ult.
Yeah, and then I don't know, I felt like I never really saw a hugely impactful Luna Snow from the MP Orange side. Like every single time that the UAlbany popped their Luna Snow, I'm like, oh, is there going to be an answer back? And I saw that MP Orange had already used it and it was already done.
So they couldn't answer back with their own ult.
Yeah, and at that point, if you're up an entire Luna Snow ult and you haven't lost the fight, it's basically GG from there. All right, and we do here have the readies coming out. So that's already domination and a convoy. So we have what is it going to be, like a convergence next probably?
Perhaps.
We'll see what the map pick is.
It might. I don't want to predict anything, but I feel like the next 3 bans from NP Orange is going to be Black Panther, Daredevil, and Luna Snow.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them if they did that, because the Luna Snow, even with the 2-second nerf to her ulti duration, it's still one of, if not the best healers in the game right now. Like, the ability to basically have a better support ult than everyone else in the game that is mobile, that still lasts longer than almost everyone else, and then be able to turn it into a damage boost if you're already steamrolling the fight, that character is crazy. I don't know what they're going to do to nerf her into...
Incredibly versatile, incredibly strong. I do feel like they're going to have to go in for a full rework, because you can't just nerf a kit like this, because if you do go overboard with a nerf, it will upset a lot of players naturally.
Yeah, it feels like... Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It feels like the only way that you would make a kit like this, quote-unquote, balanced would be basically nerfing it into the ground. And you don't want to do that, right? You don't want a character to be unplayable.
So you just kind of have to rework it with a different kit in order to sort of make it viable.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Obviously, we're not on the dev team, so we can't be the ones to come up with the ideas.
Come up with the suggestions and stuff. But they did sort of rework Jeff a little bit.
Yeah, so we have seen that they are willing to, try and fix these more problematic play styles. So, all right, here we go into map number 3, and it is going to be Convergence on the... Is this the Black Panther map, I believe?
I do believe it is.
All right. Yeah, I feel like this map, that first point is so crucial, right?
Yeah.
If you can get through the first point with, relatively quickly, maybe in a couple of fights or so, you are so set up for success, because I've seen so many full holds on this map, just because that first point can be so annoying to actually break through. And then, but the thing is, even if you do that, the third point feels almost impossible to break through too. The defense on this map, it feels so difficult to actually overcome.
Pretty much everything feels like a brick wall.
Yeah. And
it does seem like they are banning Daredevil.
Yep, first ban Daredevil, protecting the Cloak and Dagger this time. So
interesting. So they are going for the Hela ban once more.
All right, so yeah, they're committed to that Hela ban.
But it does seem like they have their Cloak and Dagger now. So
yeah, we're gonna have to see how that changes things up. As you see, Josh on NP Orange's side is already hovering that. So it looks like that is their Cloak and Dagger player. Cloak and Dagger is pretty good at answering these dives, just because they have that invulnerability. They have the Terror Cave to kind of put a lot of pressure on the divers to make them jump back out. They have the bubble as an emergency health zone. So we could see UAlbany having a little bit of a struggle there.
UAlbany is protecting Jeff and Angela, which
All right, interesting.
very interesting.
We didn't see the Jeff protect in the last 2 games, but he was pretty instrumental in their win on that last map. Those Jeff ults can be so big for dividing up those team fights.
Which it did, which we saw earlier when the Jeff ult pretty much captured 2 of their backlines, crippling the team.
Yeah, if you, especially if you capture that Lunar Solo as that main throughput healer, if you can take her out of the fight for 6 seconds, it's so difficult to keep your tanks alive. And it's going to be the Black Panther ban to end it all.
It does seem like they're going with the same sequence of bans as they did the last time. Very interesting.
Yeah, and so yeah, protecting that Cloak and Dagger, protecting that Strange. I don't know if Mr. Whale is like a bit of a one-trick pony. No, it was Super Saiyan on the Strange last time, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
But like, I don't know, that Strange pick, yeah, it's strong, but into like this divey melee heavy comp of like Thor and Blade, it's so difficult. Like, it feels like you don't have any defensive options. You don't have any good options for like protecting your backline. I'd love to see them swap to something like, I don't know, the Emma Frost, or like even something like a Magneto. Just like give your backline some breathing. But I don't know. Maybe it's just comfort at this point. Maybe they don't have the pick practiced. So we will see a group pick that is going to be unique.
But I am sort of curious as to what UAlbany's help has to offer now, since they went for the ban 3 times in a row.
Yeah, yeah, it makes me wish that they hadn't banned it so that we could see it. Maybe Aida would be on the Hela instead of the Punisher here. Kind of serves a very similar function of like just putting a lot of pressure on the enemy front line. Alright, and here we go. UAlbany once again starting on the attack side. Blade immediately going to try and grab that high ground on the left side. Yeah, if you
Looks
can.
like they're gonna be, it's going to be a Blade mirror match.
Yeah, both using the shotgun. Blade going to go in. And it is going to be the pick-off for UAlbany, immediately getting the 5 versus 6. That is huge. If they can get this point really fast, it's going to be really big for them. And the Squirrel Gore goes down too. Punisher just absolutely melting both of the enemy DPS.
We've seen no Carolo with a payload match earlier.
Yep, both supports going to go down to the onslaught of the Blade and the Angela. Absolutely nothing can be done. Groot and Strange not really having great tools for peeling for their backline.
Angela flying. Let's see what she does over here. Maybe she's looking for some easy pickings.
Yeah, Angela does have some good environmental kill potential on this map. Gonna look for the Doctor Strange. He does immediately shift. He does have to get out of Veil free card there, and Angela brought down to 33 HP, but is
surviving.
Yeah, able to get away. That shield, that right-click shield, is very small, but if you use it correctly, can get you out of so many situations. And here, classic Punisher, just setting up the turret on the
payload, and it's just...
Oh my gosh.
It's just endless damage right there.
Yeah, so much damage going down range. Was able to be pushed out of it by the Squirrel Girl there.
But it was already too late.
Yeah, that's another 4 quick kills going over to UAlbany. And it looks like they're going to get most of the way to this second point almost completely uncontested. The more they can force the fights off this payload so that it's just kind of always constantly getting that progress, the better it is for UAlbany here.
Let's roll.
Are we going to see a TP soon? They still have it, or are they going to save it for a potential final stand?
Executioner!
Yeah.
Really push that payload to that first point, and it looks like he's actually succeeded.
Yeah. Punisher ult, one of the highest DPS ults in the game, just going to pop it there purely for the zoning, going to make it so like, no, you are not going to walk through this pool or stop this payload.
Looks like Jeff also has seen some of these capturing some of the members.
It's okay.
And yep, and once again, we just see another clean team fight win for UAlbany. It feels like they've really found their groove. And Team Orange looked like they kind of were fighting back a little bit on map 1. Didn't really look like they were doing much on map 2, and it seems like this is going the way of map number 2 again.
It feels like they're continuing the trend of map number 2. I really feel like they should be doing something different here.
Yeah, I don't know what you can really change up. We do see the Cloak and Dagger. Hasn't really gotten much value here. Strange does have Eye of Agamotto to pair up with the Blade ultimate. Those can be very devastating.
Psionic
Psionic Seduction, gonna lock up both the supports there. Not
He was also popping a roll.
Yep, going to be immediately answered by the Fate of Both Worlds from the Luna Snow. But even with that, it's going to be 2 kills going over to UAlbany. And the entire time this is happening, the payload just inching forward.
It's just gaining progress, getting more and more progress. And with the Luna Snow, UAlbany, it looks like they have gotten the advantage and pushed the payload all the way to the end.
They gained 33 seconds. You start with 4 minutes, and they end with 4.5. That is absolutely insane from UAlbany. I don't know what you do here if you're MP Orange. You have to change something up. They're going to go over to the Rocket here, maybe looking to try and go for like a triple support set.
It does look like they're hovering over a triple support set with Rocket, Cloak and Dagger, and Luna Snow here.
But if you're doing that on attack, like, yeah, that's a lot of healing and a lot of defense for you.
Really push forward because that is a Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is going to be like, sure, he's going to feel like very tanky, but he's not going to feel like he actually has a lot of options for pushing and making space. All right.
You do see a switch over to Magneto.
Magneto, much better at taking space than the Doctor Strange, as he does have a few more defensive options. And critically, a bubble that he can throw onto a teammate. So if UAlbany gets onto the back line,
he can protect them immediately. It doesn't look like UAlbany here is going on a little bit of a different route here, choosing Penny.
Yeah, Penny with that Rocket team up. Gonna mean that she does have that double nest, able to control so much space. And Penny, if she can maintain control of that left side room, is so annoying. Because it's like you can't peek into the room to destroy the nest without like taking so much damage.
You are going to need a healer behind you if you want to take that.
Yeah, and if you cut off like one of the key lanes of attack on this map, it's so difficult to go down that open corridor, right? It's just a slaughter. So we're gonna have to see how MP Orange deals with this.
Push through this defense over here.
Yeah. And Rocket just so good, able to throw down the healing onto both lanes at the same time here.
He's so far back that basically you're gonna have to get a far flame on for anybody to actually pick that.
Oh my goodness! And immediately Magneto is picked off, and we do see them trying to go for this flanking Penny once again, but there's so much pressure on the main meatball of NP Orange that there's no support.
The flanking Penny is not. The amazing flanking Penny is not going to pay off.
This flanking Penny could maybe get something done if her team was actually able to push forward and take some space.
But the team is just being pushed into a corner over here, and they are losing ground.
Yeah, this Squirrel Girl is seemingly holding them off 1 versus 5. Just so much damage going down range, so much pressure onto this Magneto. Gonna jump up onto this high ground here, gonna try and contest it as MP Orange is gonna try and push
Star-Lord over here is gonna kick off the Jeff over here.
Yeah, and we saw the Squirrel Girl use the ulti to pick off the Rocket in that tiny corridor. Those squirrels can be so terrifying. And yeah, if you, even without the melee dive character, it's the same game plan, just coordinated pressure, making sure that MP Orange doesn't have any breathing room. The supports are constantly looking in different directions. And you see the Star-Lord team up, he's able to put down so much pressure, and as soon as he feels any sort of resistance,
move immediately back.
Yeah, back to safety.
And he picked
oh my god!
The Star-Lord off actually.
One clips the Star-Lord there. He has the legendary. He's gonna pop it immediately, and there wasn't a support ult to answer. The Cloak and Dagger did have the Eternal Bond, but was not able to use it quickly enough, so did go down. And this is looking so incredibly difficult. Penny even throwing out some mines to help the main unit as she's holding that left side room.
Penny just sort of. We haven't seen a lot of work from Penny just yet because they haven't been able to push past over to the Penny.
It feels like Penny is just kind of standing there just okay guys, I have my setup. Any day now. I'd love to be helpful.
The Squirrel Girl is holding down the line alone.
Frontline Squirrel Girl just is taking so much damage, but the psionic seduction into the stampede. It's gonna get 2 kills immediately, make it a 3rd. And a 4th, you have to imagine. Oh god, and okay. You know, the Doctor Strange wasn't working, but I feel like you kind of have to go for a Strange Portal now. Like, I don't know how you're gonna do it because you see this Squirrel Girl just pushing into the spawn room almost of NP Orange, but they have to figure out a way to like break this setup.
Yeah, they have to like get past that first initial layer. So, even if they do get past that first initial layer, they're still going to have to deal with that penny back there.
All right, Eternal Bond, really good here, just to give them a carpet to get onto this point, but it's going to immediately be answered by the fate of both worlds. It's Jeff. Looks like it may have gotten a few there, and we see the Rock Roll just trying to punch through. There is, okay, Fate of Both Worlds is done. This is advantage to NP Orange. Oh, I'm sorry, UAlbany is the one who popped the rocket ult, and so, yeah.
So,
all right.
The entire NP Orange team just got wiped, and it looks like
Yikes.
UAlbany takes the third match by a landslide.
Yeah, 3-0, full held, got more time than they started with on their own attack. That is the picture-perfect domination right there.
It looks like from what we've seen over with UAlbany's setup over here, they haven't really met their match at all.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see like who is finally going to, you know, even take a map off of UAlbany here, because that's another 3-0 victory back-to-back here.
And earlier we've seen Squirrel Girl with 0. There are 2 deaths for UAlbany.
2 deaths.
2 deaths in total.
Game.
Their formation was unbreakable the entire time.
Yikes. Yeah, you see that Squirrel Girl, 17,000 damage. There's a DPS on the enemy team that doesn't even have 5,000.
Last match we saw how the NP Orange's team dealt a lot of damage. Well, this is what we're talking about here. You don't just do a lot of damage, you have to get the kills. This Squirrel Girl dealt less damage, but she has 30 kills.
30 kills, 13 final hits, 16 onto the Star-Lord. Actually, like, low-key was a menace in the backline there as well. And yeah, it seems like UAlbany, this strategy of just this coordinated, multi-pronged pressure is just so much for these teams to handle.
It's so effective in this case that they don't even need their specific characters in order for it to work, because they can simply replace them with other ones that function similarly enough.
Yeah, and critically here, you saw multiple members of the team doing it, right? For the first 2 games, you had it was Ayada on the Punisher holding down that back line, maintaining pressure on the enemy tanks. Well, it was Thin Creamer as the flanking Daredevil, the flanking Blade. But this match, it was Thin Creamer on the
front side here.
Yeah, on the Squirrel Girl, just laying down punishment.
Holding down that line, a 1v5, with barely any trouble. Well, not barely any trouble, but with a little bit of trouble, and suffering 0 deaths.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, is it felt like a lot of the time Squirrel Girl was further forward than the Emma Frost, and still was never punished. So yeah, I mean, quick 3-0 for UAlbany, and we're going to have to see if next time they meet someone that can actually give them a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, even though UAlbany did make some mistakes, NP Orange was unable to punch them thoroughly enough.
Yeah. After that first map, I thought we were maybe going to see a little bit more of a back and forth, but it feels like UAlbany was really warming up, got into their groove on map number 2, and just never took their foot off the brake. So
NP Orange really has to find a way to make their punishes actually worth it. They really have to be able to punish the enemy team whenever they make a single mistake, because this is what UAlbany did this entire match.
Yeah.
Whenever NP Orange made a singular mistake, they took full advantage of it, put their gas on the pedal, and bulldozed them.
Yeah, that's the way to take down this multi-prong, right? Like, you have to have that coordination of as soon as, you know, that single DPS or the tank that is diving in there to disrupt, you need to just be able to turn around, full focus them, kill them quickly so that you can have that 5v6 with advantage. But, you know, neither team has been able to do that so far, so, you know, maybe next time. But
maybe next time we'll see some more action from the amazing flanking Penny.
Yeah, the amazing flanking Penny. I wanted that to work. I really did.
It seems like such an interesting play over there, but it's just...
Yeah, it's... Maybe a little. It needs a little bit more time in the kitchen.
A little bit more time.
All right.
The main team does have to be able to hold their own, though.
Yeah. All right. And with that, we will sign off. See you guys next time in probably a couple weeks. So
in a couple of weeks. So
I've been Jeff,
and I'm Eric.
See you next time.